They know they're in a controlled situation, and what you can actually focus on as something you can see eventually will bring it down, because of the desire for freedom in the human heart, which is very, very strong, like communism and fascism, where you can see it and touch it, you know you're in a controlled situation. What the Illuminati have done, and this was very much in my view, and what happened at the so-called Declaration of Independence and what followed the turnover apparently on the surface of control of America from Britain, was not actually a movement from control by Britain to control by Americans of their own country. It was a move from in-your-face dictatorship, colonial rule from Britain by royalty, to a covert dictatorship. And this is what happened, of course, massively in South Africa. When the British Empire and the other European empires pulled out in-your-face colonial occupation in Africa, in Australia, in Asia, and all over the place, what was happening was not freedom for those countries. It was actually this move from overt to covert dictatorship, and until it's exposed, the covert hidden hand dictatorship can go on forever, because people do not rebel against not being free when they're convinced they are. And of course America and Britain here are classic examples of that mindset. It's what I call the movie. If you're going to keep people in the illusion that they are free and are in a free society in which they have fundamental choices, then you have to put things in front of them that underpin that illusion. And of course the great foundation of freedom is what is called democracy. The two are intended to be the same thing. Democracy is freedom, freedom is democracy. But what is democracy? Democracy is the ability to put a cross or something next to the name of someone every 4 or 5 years. Now, people you've never met, know nothing about, have only had a spin version of, and then for the next 4 years, you live under a dictatorship, an elected dictatorship. And of course, to give the illusion that we do actually have choice, you have to have, as you point out, this 2 or 3 party system that you see around the world. But of course, the more you research what's happening in America, for instance, and indeed in Britain here with the Labour Party and the Conservatives, you find that actually when you get to the peak of the pyramids of these political parties, you're getting the same people, the same funders, the same manipulators. I mean, the Rockefellers in America work through the Republicans and they work through the Democrats. And it's interesting that if you can give each party a reputation, an image for something, then it allows you to work a very subtle scam in which, for instance, if you have the Republicans with the image of being against big government and against more state control, and the Democrats with the image of being in favor of more state control and in favor of more power to the state, then what you do is you put through your big brother, big state legislation. When there's a Republican administration, because they have the reputation of being against that, they can get things through that the Democrats couldn't, because once the Democrats talked about more big government, people say, see, it's the Democrats. We have the same situation in Britain, where Tony Blair's Labour Party, which has a certain reputation for being, pro-compassion,